This Black History Month, we are exploring what it means to be Black in America and throughout the diaspora. Journalist and digital media executive Natasha S. Alford is a Black and Puerto Rican woman who has directed and produced the documentary Afro-Latinx Revolution, Puerto Rico, which explores the history, intersectionality, and culture of the Afro-Latino community on the island. Now, Natasha has released a memoir, American Negra, which dives deep into the two different worlds she comes from, a narrative that discusses her upbringing in a working-class, multi-ethnic family, making connections between Black America and the Afro-Latin diaspora. And Natasha, kind enough to join us now in studio. Congratulations on the book.
Thank you so much. It is beautiful to be here, especially during Black History Month. Yes.
What made you decide, you know, you're a young lady, this is the time to write my memoir?
Yes, there's a certain, I guess, boldness to write about your life so young. But I really did write this book for young people. I had them in mind. I think too often we tell stories of success in America, and we don't talk about those messy early years. And I wanted to unmask all of that. This is really a story about the American dream. I came from a public school system, working class family. I went on to Harvard, and some people would think that's the happy ending. But I want to complicate that. I was looking for purpose. I was looking for my identity as a Black woman, but also as an American. And that's what the book is about.
I found that we had a lot in common. Number one, Syracuse was my first TV market, which you talked about going for that interview. But there was something that struck me, because you were talking about how you're a proud New Yorker, but for upstate New York, and that often doesn't have the same feel, vibes as those who are in New York City. But you wrote this, and it shocked me, because you were really talking about this peaceful drive. You say, I took in the June breeze blowing through the window, which I'd rolled down with a hand crank. As I exhaled, I decided to instigate a conversation sparked by our latest visit to the suburbs. Mommy, I want to be white. What made you feel that? And obviously, at that young age, this is something that really still stuck with you all this time.
Yes, so with that story, I wanted to highlight that children see caste. They see social caste and they see racial caste. So did I literally want to be white at 5 years old? No. I was saying something I knew was controversial, but I was pointing out to my mother that every weekend we went and we babysat for doctors who lived in this really nice neighborhood, but I only saw white people in that neighborhood. And when we went back to the city, I saw that it was mostly African Americans, Puerto Ricans. And so even though we didn't technically have segregation, there was still this reality of segregation.
You also talk about how when you were growing up, you didn't have the Black president who was on TV or these Black examples in the world at large. Do you feel like, we were talking about, you have a 3-year-old son now, you feel like it's going to be a very different world for him growing up?
It's a different world. I have to say I'm disappointed. You know, in my 30s now, my mid-30s, I was a millennial who really believed that America was getting better automatically every year, despite our history of, pain and strife with racism. And I've seen this rollback, almost a backlash to progress, that has reminded me that we truly have to fight for progress. It is not easily given or handed over. And this fight is happening across the diaspora, which is why this book is called American Negra, because I wanted to show that it's not just African Americans.
You've said that you've grappled with the term biracial. Why is that?
Because the assumption is that when I say I'm an African-American woman and a Latina woman, that people think that automatically makes me biracial. That's not possible, because there are Latinos who are white and there are Latinos who are Black. So you would need to know the racial makeup of my parents before you could assume that I was biracial. We're not thinking about the fact that there is racial stratification in Latin American countries, that in certain places, again, slavery was a part of many of these societies. So although the face of Latinidad is the, mestizo, somebody who is brown, so to speak, not all Latinos are brown. And so that's why I say you can't assume that I'm biracial.
Such a rich and textured book. Thank you so much for coming by. I look forward to continuing our conversation on your book in the coming weeks. Natasha, such a pleasure to have you on the show. Natasha's book, American Negra, is out tomorrow wherever books are sold.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.